as I pack my bags to leave, I thought she would start to cry, sit around my room and weep. But you're the girl, she fooled me this time. She acted like I was the last thing on her mind. I would like to start all over again. As I took those steps towards that open door, knowing all the time, oh Lord, I just didn't want to go. But she didn't give me no sign, nothing that would make me change my mind. I would like to start all over again. Baby, can I change my mind? Please, 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 baby.
Little band called the Pie Tasters there. Little punk ska band. Hello. Cheddar Bob here. The video said it's been a week since the last time I was on here, but it really doesn't feel like that long. Bed behind me is the Bruce Banner #3 bed. The roots have taken hold, and this thing is starting to explode. In a week, it's doubled in size. So pretty psyched with that. Hey, Carrot Top, how's it going? Yeah, the two in back, which were just transplanted into the beds from their Oasis cubes, with a whole bunch of gangly, nasty roots, you know, sitting in the dome for a couple weeks too long. Sickly plants. Those took a little bit longer than, obviously, this one in front that was in a solo cup that had a little bit more life to it. So, but they're recovering nicely. Now to the, let's see if this is locked or if I can go. Ah, fuck, it's locked. Okay. Oh well, it's all right. Mealybugs. So, I went nuclear. I applied some wettable sulfur for the first time. Now, I'm very unfamiliar with using this product, wettable sulfur as a whole. So I did get some advice from Marco about the amount to use. So I used a little bit less. I used 1 tablespoon instead of, or teaspoon rather than 2 teaspoons, in hopes that I won't burn the plants because they are awfully young. So I applied the wettable sulfur. It seems to have worked quite well. Now, however, I do see a few mealybugs kind of moping around, right? So I'm curious if those ones are going to die, if they have the sulfur on them, or if they're kind of like ones that just hatched, or the sulfur didn't penetrate into, and if I can apply it, or not if, but when I can apply that again. I also think part of the issue was my Chapin sprayer doesn't quite get that fine of a spray. You know, it's good for like watering in the bed and stuff like that, but for foiler, it's a little too heavy. a little too beaded, you know, like big droplets, stream of water instead of like a mist. So I'm wondering if maybe, you know, where the water dried in droplets, it wasn't covering all of the plant, and so I have little spots here and there that things survived. So, me thinking that, I'm like, all right, well, if that's the case, you know, do I go back and do I use a little bit more sulfur on just the parts where I see mealybugs? Now, I've only found one on the actual plants. What I'm talking about is like the cover crop here. So I'm wondering if I can apply like a week after, if I can do like maybe 2 teaspoons of wettable sulfur and maybe get a fogger or something like that. Yes, weedist, you know, these fucking mealybugs, man. I got those Cryptolapis mealybug destroyers, and they worked really well. They took care of 80% of the visual mealybugs over a few days. Problem is their life cycle isn't very long, so they don't sustain, you know, they wipe through everything and then they die. They don't really, I guess, mate or whatever, like, so, they did a great job, and then I applied the wettable sulfur, but I'm still finding a few, and I figure if I'm finding a few, then there are definitely more, and there's probably some eggs, so what I really want to do is fucking get rid of these mealybugs. And, you know, the plants aren't seeming to suffer from that 1 teaspoon that I sprayed. There was a little bit of residual sulfur on the leaves, which is fine, which is the purpose, right? But it wasn't an even spread. So I'm thinking I might need to get a mister or a fogger or something like that. It just doesn't have that micro bead micro pellet size, or, you know, droplet size. So I'm pretty sure I'm not getting a even coverage on the leaf surface or any surface that it's being applied to. I think it's too much and it's just kind of running down, and then whatever residual is drying, but it's not getting its main application, I guess. Is that what I'm trying to say? Maybe. Yeah, I think the fogger is going to be the way to go, weedist. I'm looking at the Petra 2-gallon because I don't... Right? Arachnids? Yeah, I know, huh? I should just fucking be able to talk to him and be like, yo, like little Ant-Man, be like, come on, man, like, attract some bugs, some parasite wasps or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, I was really just came on to see what the application rate was for, not rate, but time frame for wettable sulfur. Because fuck it, I'll do it right now or tomorrow morning when the lights go off. Like, if I can do it once every 3 or 4 days, then I'm gonna do that until these fucking things are toast. But here, I'll bring you over here. Hopefully I don't lose service too bad. Electric paint sprayer from Amazon is what you've been using. Ooh, that does actually sound like that could work. Huh. All right, so we're over here. There's one Bruce Banner. I mean, so when it went in, it was only about this tall, I would say. And you can see all the purple. You know, that's how badly it was neglected. It was in rough shape when I went in here. just like these ones. You know, so those, I mean, comparably, they're actually, I mean, they're not doing horrible. Like I've had a lot worse. But those were just stuck in some Oasis cubes. Like those didn't have any dirt. Those are straight from the clone tray with like legit, like shitty, wicked shitty nasty roots. But they're recovering. So yeah, I've got 2 vegging, and I have 3 cherry pies. Yeah, they look different. Just I think just because of the stunted growth, you know. But yeah, they're all the same clones. So, and then over here, we got the cherry pie. Yeah, recovering. Which is looking pretty good. You can see the little beginning. Let's see if I can. So that is just the beginning of the effects of the UV light, the Solacure flower power. So that's, you know, we're in week 5, and that's going to start really pumping all that out on the cherry pie. It's going to start doing it really rapidly. No. The other one. Oi, fucker. Yeah, fucker. The other one's the cherry pie, which is, I mean, that one was the cherry pie. The other plant is a 9-pound hammer. So it's about 10 weeks, I would say, and the cherry pie is about 8.5. So that'll work out pretty well. Let's see. The avocado tech is finally drawing in some worms for the flower pods. The veg pods behind me have a lot of like mites and soil mites and springtails and beneficial mites all in there breaking stuff down. Not too many worms. But let's see if I can get you in here. Oh, yeah, mama Peachka. Is this thing still on? So let's see. I did actually order a few more worms. I haven't seen a large plethora of worm activity. Did it come back on, Wheatus? I don't know, I can't see. We'll find out in a second. So I ordered some more worms, some more red wrigglers. I'll split those in between the beds. I haven't seen a whole lot of worm activity when I go through the beds, so I'm sure they haven't died off, but they're definitely not doing their job on the topsoil like they should. So, is what it is. Yeah, but I'm pretty psyched about this this cherry pie under the Photon Tech 465 watt LED. Oh, another neat little thing that I did. So, see my fan, right? Right now, you know, these plants are getting some good breeze, like directly on them. When I am not down here, I close the tent, and so let's see. This little piece of grate is hanging off like another piece of wire. see if I can. Like if you go up there, right, you can see that, and then that kind of hooks on to the bottom. And then the fan, is heavy, so it pushes out on the tent, and it is blowing air right on the plants. Now, something kind of neat I figured out the other night was that when I close the tent, the negative pressure sucks the tent in so much that this will actually lifts up and blows above the plants when the tent is closed. So I was like, hey, that actually works out pretty well because, I'm down here with the tents open for maybe an hour or two. So they're getting like some direct poundage of wind there for an hour or two, which isn't going to hurt them at all. But when I close the tent up, it picks right up and goes back to just above the canopy. Things work out when you least expect it, I suppose. That's how it goes. Yeah, but like I was saying, I got a couple cherry pie clones I just transplanted, and those, again, they're, man, I gotta get my veg system under control because these cherry pies have legit been in solo cups for like 5 weeks, maybe 6 weeks. They are they hate me. Yeah, I'll show you one, but don't hold it against me. Like, they hate me. But I just transplanted one into a 3-gallon grassroots living soil pot, and it has rebounded wonderfully in the last, week. It's like, okay, you ready? Like, legit, I swear to God, I am the worst veg plant carer of her ever. I should be ashamed of myself, but I'm not. But look at this thing. Let's see if I can. Oh yeah, I can get it out of here. Come on, you fucking cunt. Oops. Like bad news. Like, look at that. Look at that. It's just like, what's up? I've been in here way too long. This would be like the equivalent to like bounding women's feet back in like feudalistic times. I mean, the root system is sound. It looks really nice. I got a little bit of root rot at the bottom. But yeah. So these cherry pies have like been in here for so long. So long! They're horrible. I just like, the other day I actually just picked off all the dead, dry, like brown roots. It's like, oh man. So, but then, okay, right? So that's the veg plant, right? That's I got another clone just like this. And these are like, if I lose something, I know I can get something out of these. And so I'll show you the 3-gallon one. Right, so here's a 3-gallon one that's bounced back really well. And you can see a couple of the, where are we here? What am I trying to touch? This one? No, this one. You can see a couple of the sulfur spots, And so, that's what I was looking at. I think you can see it a little bit better there. But those are sulfur spots, and so that's what made me think about the fogger, in that I'm not getting the even settling, or whatever you want to call it, whatever it's actually called, on the actual plant surface. So as nice as much as I like the Chapin sprayer, like it's just not it's not the foiler application that I'm really looking for. But oh, do you? Everyone all right? That was an awful big crash. I don't hear any crying. I don't hear any fast, heavy footsteps. And I don't hear my name. So I'm going to assume that we're okay, unless a bomb went off and just wiped everyone out upstairs. But yeah, so this was transplanted probably about a week ago, about 10 days ago. But you can see the same structure as the other one. Like, it was like that. But this is all nice, new, fresh green growth. So I will take some clones off this when it's time to get some new healthy clones going. Probably by that time I will have transplanted those other ones into this 4x4 bed to get back to health and do another run of the cherry pie in there. So, and then I also have another little Bruce Banner, which is actually doing quite well. This was another one that was left in the Oasis cubes for like a stupidly numb amount of time. It wasn't very healthy. Add K to the sulfur spray. Potassium? Like powdered potassium? Is this of what you speak, Smiley? But yeah, Bruce Banner, number 3, nice, pretty good and healthy. You can see like a little bit of the residual from when it was unhealthy, but everything up here is looking pretty good. Oh yeah, must be, 7:30 and light just got brighter, boom. Potassium. Did I say potassium? So that's what, okay, so back to the Oasis cubes. So those two that were in back, those two shorter stubby ones, those were like just in the Oasis cubes with roots showing. And I stuck them in those beds. So with like brown and algae covered long ass fucking roots, like the length of your cloning tray. Maxi-crop dry seaweed. The K helps balance the sulfur from what? From spotting. Okay, I will look at Maxi-crop dry seaweed. Okay. Would the Keia powder extract work? Would saponins help with that? Possibly. But I do know that it's also the sprayer. So, the droplet size of the sprayer is just too big for it to be a fine mist to settle and not beat up and run off. I do know that is also part of the problem. But yeah, I'm keeping the Bruce Banner going. I'm keeping the cherry pie going. It's not pretty, but I get a couple. It's not ugly. Yeah, I am legit probably the worst veg person ever. Like I have some of the Bob's cheddar in a half-gallon little plastic thing bag, and in the thing. Look at this. I'll show you. I'll show you how bad I am. I'm so bad. Legit, look at this thing. Look, a little half gallon. Look at this is a Bob's cheddar. I mean, I can still get a cut off the top of this, but this thing has been going. What? Look at that. I'm just gonna like strip it right now. All this dead stuff. Not all. As much as I can get with just my. There we go. She looks a little bit better. But look at that. That's like. I mean, I grew this what? I grew this a long time ago. Like a long time ago, didn't I? Yeah, so I'm a really bad veg guy. Admittedly, at a point, beautiful. Yeah. At a, at a point, it becomes laziness. But initially, it was timing. So, and that's what I'm still working on. When to take clones, you know. And I don't want to super crop clones. I don't like doing that because I've lost stuff trying to re-veg it and it never re-vegged. So I don't know if it's something I do or what, but so I try and take them in veg. And then they get into solo cups, and prior they had gotten into half gallons or gallon bags, right? Stress testing, absolutely. Yes, buddy. Yeah, I am a true stress tester. But like in the past, what was I saying? I don't even remember what I was saying. Shit. I just had a brain shit. Someone help me out. Type something in. Tell me what I was talking about. Because I don't remember. I need my glasses. Lights just got brighter. Oh, okay, I got it. In the past, see, these are like my memory glasses. In the past, trying to transplant like half gallon or 1 gallon pots into my beds, I felt was disturbing too much of the soil, for one. Two, I can't get as many plants if I want to into the beds with the 1 gallon pots. Like the way I have my drip system set up and stuff. Like the 1 gallons take up a lot of spot. Obviously, if I want to put something larger, like a 3 gallon in there, like what, I mean, that's kind of, I don't want to say it defeats the purpose, but it's not what I'm shooting for, I guess. So I'm trying to work on this timing with cloning, keeping them in the cloner, and keeping them healthy enough, or the Oasis cubes, as long as I can, transplanting them into solo cups and keeping those as healthy as long as I can. And then at some point when they start getting unhealthy, I'm like, yeah, well, that's the way it's going, and it's just gonna, I don't want to say I give up, but I definitely get, I don't know, I get a little bummed out, you know, I'm like, fuck, my timing is fucked. So, you know, and then I have veg plants like that eventually I transplant into something larger, and I start that whole process over again of a mom. But, you know, I know with those veg plants getting like not healthy and not very taken care of, that I'm definitely risking that chance of like degradation of the optimal health of the mom and the next cutting of clones, you know. So I'm still working on my process, you know. 20 years of this, and I'm still working on it, and that's okay. That's okay with me. I don't get mad at myself. I don't get frustrated. I don't panic. I just take it for what it is, and how I personally do things, or don't do things. You know, like take care of my veg plants properly. I'm also a little limited for space. Negligible. Yeah, I am. I don't know. Is what it is. I mean, these come out fine, right? Once they hit these beds, they are fucking spot on. Like the growth on this front Bruce spanner is fucking going beautifully. So the beds are on, maybe not on point, but I'd give them like a B. I'd give them a B, maybe a B plus. I wouldn't say A, but I'd give them a B plus for life and you know, production and stuff like that. I'm very, very happy with the way these are performing. Especially this fucking thing, right? 4 years. I mean, from someone that grew just chucking your soil out and not using it again, like 4 years using the same soil is fucking, really makes you think about how much fucking money you threw out into the fucking woods, right? Oh yeah. Like I said, what did I order? I ordered some red wrigglers, some European night crawlers, so we'll put a few of those back into the beds. What? An easy swap pot? Easy swap pot. I'm gonna have to look that up. Easy swap pot. Easy swap pot. Well, I guess no matter how many times I say it, I'm still not going to really know what it is. But I will look into that too, Smiley. So, what am I looking up? Potassium. And easy pots. Is that what it was? Easy swap pot. I'm going to write it down. Alright. Easy swap pot. Potassium for sulfur. Boomskis. Easy swap. Easy swap, not easy. 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 It is not so easy. And that's it, right? That's it. So week 5, we got about 3 more weeks. So 3 more videos of me on this harvest, and then we get to watch me battle these mealybugs for the next forever. Probably through Christmas, definitely. This probably won't be ready to throw into flower for another 4 weeks, 5 weeks, I would say. Easy to open for transplanting. Are they the fabric pots? The ones that pull from the side? Because I might actually have those. I got bags. Like these? Did you just see that? Just gas myself. But yeah, I mean, I got back, like, so these were some of the first ones I got back about 4 years ago, and I never used them. You know, delusions of grandeur, or is it illusions of grandeur? I think it's delusions for me. Or are they those ones that you kind of like set inside each other? Is that what they are? I don't know. What else we got to talk about? Oh, I am topping the fuck out of these Bruce banners. Like, fucking every node that comes out, boom. And as soon as the next node comes out on that one, boom. I'm gonna have fucking branches. Because while this Bruce banner produces fantastic cannabis, oh, what are you saying, Smiley? They make half-gallon that work way better than solos. Yeah, I know. But my point about the half gallons is there's still, maybe it's just me, you know, maybe I'm just stubborn, maybe it's just my own head thing, but I'm like, even the half gallons seem like deeper and wider than I want to go into the beds. You know what I mean? Like, it just, something about it doesn't feel right. Even maybe if it is right to do that. I mean, I know I could, but just something doesn't feel right about it. And maybe, I don't know, I know I'm weird, but maybe I'm extra weird about that. Who knows? I can't figure it out, and I'm not gonna try and figure it out. But I do need to figure something out about the veg plants. Maybe just start moms and clones, and I don't know. Maybe, you know what? Maybe I'll just start another tent. Wouldn't that be like the easiest thing to do? Just start another tent, so when those clones are starting to get to their point, I'll just transplant them and flower them. Something like that. Maybe run a sea of green. I have my lit lighting strip. I have my fluents. I have the 500 watt ceramic metal halide. So I could definitely do something. I can make something. You know what? Fuck that. I might do that. Just trying to think of where I could fit it in my tiny little space. I might have to redo my room here. Oh, I appreciate you, Smiley. You know that, man. I'm definitely gonna look them up, and see if there is a way that I could use them. I mean, maybe I can use them in a new tent. I got the lighting and stuff. I just gotta make sure I'm not overloading my panel, right? Because I got some juice going. Well, I mean, not a whole lot of juice, but for an old ass house with not great electrical, um, I'll just say that. This is 720. This one is 465. I got 90. I got fancy. I'm running a little bit of wattage and amperage through the breakers, but I could probably get another 400 watt. That Fluence only runs at 345, I think, 345 watts, maybe. I think that's all it runs at. And it's maybe it's 445. I don't quite remember. Or 350. 455? Shut down the island. No, we'll just need to get the gerbils. We'll have to get more gerbil wheels. That's how we power everything out here. We got a field full of gerbil wheels. We get gerbil tenders. They don't wear uniforms. They wear giant gerbil furry costumes, so as though not to really startle the little gerbils that are producing the power for the island. It's pretty sweet. What they did was they made the cages, not the cages, but the wheels. They're made out of copper, and on the outside of the wheels they're encrusted in that. What's that crystal they have in watches? Right? That glows and that charges the watch. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, Jackson Lab. It's actually one of their grants that they were doing. But whatever that crystal is that's on your watches that charges your watch and stuff. So they have that on the outside of these fucking copper hamster wheels. No, dude, there are millions. Well, maybe not millions, but probably a couple tens of thousands of these fucking hamster wheels in this field. And it's crazy. Like, you can see the glow from those. Indiglo? Is that what it's called, though? Is that what the mineral or the crystal or whatever is called? Is it called Indiglo, or is that like the whatever? But yeah, you go over there and you can see the glow. You can hear this little it sounds like crickets from far away, but as you grow closer, it's like shh. And when you look out over this field, it's crazy. You see all these spinning, greenish looking fucking things. They're spinning all the time. And you see these big fucking hamsters, people dressed as hamsters walking down lines, just checking, making sure that all the wheels are. No, Wheatus, I'm not kidding. The island's changed a lot since you were last here. You come up here, I'll show you the field. It's called Jackson's Field. It's crazy. It's nuts. It's about 4 miles away. We used to, get all hammered and go there and fucking go watch the hamsters run on the wheels and charge the electricity for the island. It's pretty smart. And it's not the wheels that you would have. If you have a pet hamster and you have that cute little wheel, it's and one side's open so it can get out. No, these are enclosed wheels. So there's no getting out, so they're always fucking running. It is genius. And think about hamsters, Like they don't take long to have babies. They have babies all the time, and they love like, dude, they love to run on wheels. Like that's what they'll just sit there and be like, you know, you hang a little piece of whatever hamster food, you know, their favorite hamster food outside the wheel, and they will just like run at that thing nonstop. And so they have those big people dressed as the hamster furries that walk down because, you know, a lot of the times the hamsters will die of exhaustion. They'll run themselves to death to give us electricity. And so they're replaced by the hamster furries. Yeah, so that's like part of their job too. I actually had a friend that worked on the fields. True soulmate. Yeah, man. And I was like, dude, what do you like? Hamsters don't have like a super long life, and especially if they're like fucking running all day to provide us with all our fucking energy. Like, you know, what do you? I mean, they got to be dying at a pretty good clip, right? And he's like, yeah, there's a pretty good turnover ratio. I was like, well, what do you do with all the dead hamsters? And he's like, well, you know, the Jackson Lab, they burn all their mice, they throw them into the incinerator. And he's like, since it's a grant, you can DIY a home model. Well, so apparently the that crystal stuff that charges your watches, right, is really hard to get. And so the lab being like the one of the foremost genetic research facilities in the world, they have the money to be able to get that and encrust these wheels with that stuff. So yeah. Oh, and another benefit of that is, like, you know, it glows. So even at night, it's so bright that the hamsters thinks it's daytime, so they don't really sleep either. So they're always just like, and you know, it's in like the middle of these two mountains in this like little, I don't want to call it a valley because it doesn't really seem large enough to be a valley, but think like a miniature forested section of like where. Good at poker. Actually, I don't play very much poker. I've played a few times, but I'm not much of a poker guy. I always like cribbage, but I don't know. I never liked poker. Oh, but where? So I was telling you guys about the how the stuff keeps them thinking it's daytime, so they're always running. Where was I going with that? Shit, I don't remember where I was going with that. But yeah, anyways, so, you know, fuck, we'll throw a few more hamsters on the line. Get a little more wattage, amperage. Yeah, you know, island people got to do what island people got to do, right? We don't have everything accessible to us that all of you mainland fucking landlocked fucking people have, right? Like, fucking cities and big trucking routes that go through and trains that deliver shit, and you got big Walmarts and Costco's and whatever. Target, you probably got Targets where you live. Like, we don't have any of that. Like, we have a Subway. That's it. That's like the only thing corporate-wise that we have on our island is a Subway. Can you imagine that? Subway fucking sandwiches is the only thing that's on our island. So yeah, we have to come up with our own ways, and you know, the Jackson Labs actually, like, so they figured that at the time switching over to wind and solar was going to be way too expensive. Is basically why they went the gerbil route. And they were right. Like, our I think we pay, like, we're at like 6 cents per kilowatt hour, I think, which is really inexpensive compared to the rest of the country, right? I mean, California is like 22 cents. I think like Oklahoma is like 14 or so. Um, but yeah, fucking gerbil powered, dude, 6 cents a kilowatt hour. So why do you go the gerbil route? Well, I mean, like, why use gerbils and not something else? Is that what you mean, Smiley? Like ferrets or something like that? I think, in the discussion they were talking about how gerbils are like the easiest to maintain as far as like, I don't want to say cleanliness, but I want to say like they, they're just easier to maintain than other wheel bearing rodents. So yeah, and like I said, they have the equivalent of gerbil power to horsepower, right? Like they are they're efficient at running. They can run long distances for long amounts of time. They have a different mentality than other rodents. They really give you their all. They're not like guinea pigs that are very like skittish and want to run away and hide. Like gerbils are, and wait, gerbils are wait, where are we? Gerbils or hamsters? No, we're gerbils. Wait. So I think they started with like hamsters, and hamsters were too much like mice. They just didn't live long enough. So the gerbils, just have a naturally longer lifespan. Richard Gere? I don't. Wait, I missed something. We went from Gerbil Roo to Richard Gere or something. I missed it. My bad. It went well over my head. So yeah, wind, solar, too expensive at the time. They went the gerbil route, and it really works out really, really well. Yeah, ground, and you see all the human batteries and stuff. That's what it looks like. It's really fucking cool. What is that thing? The gerbil route. I don't know what that sign is. Is that headphones, Weedist? Are those headphones? So yeah, I mean, if like you guys are probably from places that are way more populated than where I am. Like we have 10,000 people that are here year round. So that the gerbil produced electricity sustains the locals through like the year, through the winter and stuff. But we do need a little bump of electricity from the mainland when summertime comes. So there is like an underground cable and a power station that redirects land power during the summer. But primarily wintertime, all our electricity is gerbil run. So yeah, it's cool. I mean, it employs lots of people, more employment for opportunities. The winter's a little rough on the things, but they're out there with like heated leaf blowers, all through the winter. They work in shifts and then just walk down the rows and just continuously. They're like, they had these like heated fucking leaf blowers, so like the snow doesn't stick. They don't really get cold. There's always like it's a pretty intricate system they've worked out. So with that, oh yeah, man, like people don't realize how dedicated and loyal rodents are. People think that, you know, Ratatouille gave them like a really bad rap, you know, but towards the end it brought it back around. You can see the teamwork and the camaraderie of rats, and that carries over to most of the rodent family. You know, once they get to know you, and if you've raised them, like they get to be pretty loyal, just like any other sort of animal. Yeah. But I'm gonna leave you all to ponder the gerbil powered electricity for the island, and I'm being told that sushi has been procured. So we are going to end this video, and by we I mean I. And I hope you enjoyed your time with Cheddar Bob. Be nice until it's time to not be nice, because it's coming. Have a good night, everyone. I will, Smiley. The gerbil route. Maybe if maybe if I catch the Eagle Garden Weed Nerd World this morning, or tomorrow morning, late tonight. I don't know. How do I want to say that? We can go over the little finer points of gerbil propelled electricity. So, peace out. Have a good night.